that wanted a notional and an aspirational level of spending that the country should have done a long time ago.
Please explain to us, Secretary, how will the Corps of National Defense Specialists be recruited? How will they be trained, retained, retrained, so that this will not be redundant with the
most
existing-
important thing, ma'am, are two things. Number one, of course, aside from the monetary benefits, which are substantial, no, it's the career track and growth pathways to them. So we will design an organization that will have clear career path trackways for them. Third are the educational opportunities, actually. And for specialized defense, you cannot have it locally. You gotta place them elsewhere.
Do you need the law to be able to have
Yes,
defense
ma'am.
specialists trained abroad?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
must fund it. We can fund it under GAA even without the existing.
Ma'am, I think it will be dependent also on availability of funds. Yes, you know, I mean, there's a tendency also to democratize and to make it a politicized education, in the sense that if you, for example, there was an AFP regulation which I repealed, that if you already have a foreign schooling, you cannot undertake another. But what if you have an excellent MA degree and it's ripe for a doctoral dissertation? Why can you not, continue? Sayang eh. So those are the things that are not apropos. Secondly, there are minimum SG levels for getting education. I don't recall what they are. But actually, we have to invest on the younger ones with lower SG levels, because their minds are still fresh and you want to shape and mold those minds. Secondly, ma'am, we also will consider the specialization skills, like the DND. I will equate the Department of National Defense to and the managerial skills required to enterprise management, because you're actually managing a Mr. Senator, good afternoon.
Yes, just interrupt your presentation or your explanation. We recognize the chairman of the Finance Committee, but remember, this is a standing committee, but he will listen. And if there are financial requirements for the passage of the measure, then put the chairman is here. Thank you.
We have a hearing this week, so I'll reserve our comments, ma'am, for him especially. So, ma'am, it's an enterprise, actually, and enterprise managerial system that you need to lay down, because you have health services, retirees, you have disaster risk management, you have munitions productions, you have supervision over the armed forces under you. So you have to have the appropriate support organizations in order to support the managerial needs of these agencies, and we want these agencies to be our clientele. We also need, for example, ma'am, contracting, the ability to contract. We need to have the ability of engaging top-notch law firms without having to bid it out. We lose billions of pesos because of faulty contracting in government. So we need those abilities. We have to have the ability of engaging our audit firms for managerial audits without having to go through the ringer of a COA. And lastly, and most importantly, the qualification will be security vetting, operational security. And we need to have specialized rules for oversight, for discipline, and for tenure in the national security sense. We were working with Senator Sherwin very closely on certain things, and he was exposed to the leakages that compromise national security that we have to face internally also. Since the knowledge, since the technology, since the skills and information that will be passed will be potentially damaging to our institutions, to reputations, and to the security of a private citizen. So we really have to have specialized skills and security cover and specialized tenurial arrangements for this organization.
This is just a broad explanation of this proposed bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Emanating from the DND. It's never been heard. We will conduct a separate hearing
Yes, ma'am.
for this measure, but it's clear among the organizations present here, especially the DND, that this, among all the dozens of filed measures, is the priority.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It's the most
Okay.
difficult. That's why it's
Para lang maliwanag, ito ang dami. Yes, no, but there are other
Isabay
bills.
ko na, ma'am, yung isang hindi priority na napag-usapan
No, that's
po
why
natin.
I wanted you, rather than us dictating on the DND and the military establishment what is the most important, because realistically, I can't imagine having all the bills filed, enacted into law in the next 2.5 years. So ito, I'm convinced it's important, and I think with your assistance in trying to make us understand and also giving us the financial requirements, if DBM agrees on the increased plantilla positions, we perhaps could enact it into law in the next several months. Yes, you can proceed to the next.
Wearing my other hat, wala dito. It's the NDRIMC toning review that we agreed upon last year. We agreed that the NDRIMC law was visionary, ambitious, yet now with the benefit of experience, I have instructed the OCD just to concentrate on response. Response alone is difficult already. What more in the other areas of disaster risk reduction? So we'd like to simplify the NDRIMC Council. It's like a mini Congress right now. It's a bit unwieldy. The NDRIM Fund, I think we have found already canalized purposes for it. Number one is QRF really, augmentation, especially for Secrex Gatchalian, who's at the forefronts. And
Before you proceed, we'd like to thank Senator Erwin Tulfo for joining us.
Thank you,
We
sir.
recognize his presence. Yes, please proceed. Can you just kindly give us section of that measure?
pinail nyo ni Ariel, hindi ba? I-retrieve nyo na lang. It not this year, ma'am. Last year, last sitting, it was filed.
Just
But
have
we'll wait for you to sponsor it, ma'am.
Yes. May we know the exact title of the measure?
Can you
Yes,
retrieve it and then
you're
attend?
correct that the NDRIM should be reviewed. I remember it was myself and Senator Biazon and Senator Gordon who worked on that in 2009. So it deserves a review after 16 years.
Yes, ma'am.
However, let me just state and question. If we focus on response alone, it's like we're moving back because, of course, we need to be prepared. We need to preposition goods and services. If we focus on response alone, then this might and may undermine all efforts in the past years, if not decades, towards disaster risk reduction because
The
Yeah.
focusing, ma'am, in response will be the plenary actions of the OCD. However, in resilience, in mitigation, in rehabilitation, it can be coordinative, but not the primary implementer. So it will serve as the coordination platform. However, not substituting the core competences of the other agencies.
Pretty clear that we recognize the importance of all the elements of whether the Yogo framework for action, or
Yes.
the Sendai framework for action and sustainability. We're not saying we forget prepositioning, we ignore, and there's no need for all the elements of resilience and just focus on response, because that's like backtracking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But what you're saying, what I understand you saying, Secretary, is ang hirap-hirap na nga ng response.
Yes.
Limitado ang resources at ang mga tao. We'd like to enhance the capability of our men and women and focus on the response mechanism. That's what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am,
But
because
mitigation and
prediction
adaptation
alone is hard already. Now, the mitigation aspect, DNR is excellent on that. They have the capability. And we shouldn't be the lead agency implementing it. Right, ma'am. No, we're making the coordinative function of the council work by using it as a platform for coordination rather than have the interagency committees, etc. The NDRIMC actually is the interagency coordinating committee for disaster risk reduction. That's its purpose. However, the law as mandated, it was interpreted to mean that they will be the lead agency implementing, which to me is,
what you want.
yes, ma'am, I would like to cure that because that's not within the core competence of the agency.
Agencies within the whole council that has expertise in other
Yes, ma'am.
matters. Let me
Yes.
just read the measure. I'm not sure if it has been filed. Maybe I filed it in the last Congress. Let me review that.
Yes, ma'am. And that we'll just resubmit it.
These are amendments
I- I
of
al-
MDRIMC law.
Nasa jurisdiction mo yan Rapi.
Okay, we-
already filed.
We
been
do.
filed.
This year.
Can you kindly read into the record the name of the bill, just so that our ComSec is able to retrieve it? But if you don't have it, then we would be happy to receive it. Are these the amendments of the MDRIMC law? May na-file na ba? Can you put it on record, please?
SB number 1097, ma'am, filed by Senator Gatchalian.
Okay, just for the record, it is the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction Management Act amendment. Okay.
Now, ma'am, the amendment of espionage and anti-foreign interference laws and the amendment of the GCM jurisdiction over various crimes go hand in hand. We agree with all the versions already of the espionage and foreign interference laws. However, we are requesting that if the accused is a member of the armed forces in active duty, that the general courts martial have jurisdiction to try them and to impose the penalties upon them. And at this time, all crimes committed by servicemen and women that are cognizable by civilian courts are exclusively triable by civilian courts. We are limited to imposing the penalty of dismissal from service and forfeiture of benefits. We cannot hold these people. We have to surrender them to the jurisdiction of the civilian courts. Now, what if the offense is bailable? What happens? The person goes scot-free, unaccountable. Now, if this person is a highly trained individual, potentially lethal and is out on bail,